The market showed a change of character this week and potentially set the stage for a tradable rally. Keep watching. We'll cover the indexes as well as 5 stocks I'm looking at for next week. What's up, guys? It's Brandon from Amphibian Trading. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all my videos. And now that that's out of the way, let's get into the action. So if you've been following along these last few weeks, I've been talking about how the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100, has been grinding higher, while other indexes like the QQQJ or the IWM continued to show weakness. This week, we finally saw those indexes take a step in the right direction as both put in their own follow-through days and they reclaimed key moving averages. Starting with the QQQJ, this one had a follow-through day on Monday, gaining 1.38% on volume greater than the previous day. This also flipped back on the Market Navigator buy switch for the first time since the beginning of May. Now, on Tuesday, we had this down day. We undercut the follow-through day low. It appeared that this was going to stay either range-bound or potentially break down again. However, under the surface, the volume was lighter, and then the next 2 days, we had increasing volume to the upside with these peak range closes. We reclaimed all of the moving averages. Now, on Friday, we came down and we bounced right off this 10-week moving average, which is the blue line, and this 8 EMA, which is the small purple line there. Volume also declined again as we pulled back. So far, that's healthy. We want to see this area here starting to hold as support. Okay, now if we flip over to the IWM, this one unfortunately is still stuck below the 200-day moving average. However, this one did have its follow-through day on Wednesday here, gaining over 2%, and we had the Market Navigator buy switch turn on again for the first time since this one was on in March. So this one's been off for a while. Now it's back on. And on Thursday, we actually got our second Market Navigator buy signal, which was having the low of the day be above the 21 exponential moving average, which is the green line on the chart there. Similar to the QQQJ, this one on Friday did have a pullback, and we found support right here about this 8 EMA, and where actually all of these moving averages are bunched together. So this one does have some more work to do. However, along with this price action, it was nice to see that we finally got net highs coming back into the market, which you can see we have these 2 green bars showing us that we had 2 days back-to-back of net highs. We had this same scenario back in the beginning of May. However, you can see clearly even just the number of net highs back then was nothing compared to what it is now. So if we want to see this rally continue, we're going to need to see this streak of net highs continue, showing that participation is continuing to broaden out. Now, going through charts this week, I think there are enough individual names setting up proper bases, moving up the right side of their bases, or even breaking out with nice volume to support a tradable rally. Let's go ahead now and take a look at 5 names I'm watching for possible entries next week. Okay, the first stock we're going to look at this week is Mercado Libre, MELI. This one finished off a 5-week flat base. Now it's 11% deep, and this one has been acting very strong. It's holding all these key moving averages. Its RS line continues to trend higher. If we go to the daily chart, I'm not too fond of this center candle here, which was its earnings bar. However, it did come down and just fill this small gap from back here. Here is that same flat base that we were just looking at on the weekly chart. And one thing is, since this earnings day, you can see actually most of the volume has been on the buying side. So this one does look good to me, and it's one that you could potentially take on a breakout. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Wingstop. This one is kind of a serial baser, just putting in base after base. And now, since pushing higher, we now have this 3 weeks tight area. The 10-week moving average is going to be just above this last base high. So if we can pull back nicely and touch this 10-week moving average, I think that would be a good spot to potentially pick up shares. Volume pattern is nice as well. You can see light volume on this pullback consolidation we've had these last 3 weeks, and volume to the upside has been good. Lots of blue skyscrapers on this one. Definitely one to watch for a pullback entry. Next up, let's go ahead and look at ServiceNow. This one broke out this week on very big volume on some news. This one has been consolidating now for 14 weeks. The depth of the base was 18%, and now we broke out above that pivot. Going into the daily chart, however, this one did come pretty much straight up off the bottom. So this is one I'll be watching for a pullback now towards this 21-day exponential moving average. There's a spot to pick up shares on a pullback. Similar to now, we also have Dynatrace, which also broke out this week on a base with a very nice earnings move, and another one I'll be watching if this can pull back towards that 21 exponential moving average. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see we have lots of tight weekly closes here, good strong volume on the breakout, as well as some other increasing volume weeks to the upside. The last one we're going to look at today is Tesla. This one is a little unconventional as it's still below this 200-day moving average. However, this is putting in a proper double bottom base. We have this previous run up here of 113%, and now we have a nice 30% double bottom base with this double bottom pivot also lining up pretty close with that 200-day moving average. Here it is on the daily chart. You can see the double bottom base pivot here at 207.79. If this can get above that pivot and the 200-day with volume, this one could potentially set up another move higher. Okay, so there are the stocks I'm going to be watching for next week. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or found any of the information useful, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future updates.